Hey guys, it's Becky Bamboo. It's Friday. It's Friday, November 12th, 2010. So it's Friday. It's Friday. Oh, my chair is sliding, so I'm gonna just go right out of the picture now. It's too funny. So yeah, it's Friday, and honestly, that was the whole reason I wanted to do this video, because I like my Friday dancing videos. Friday, 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 Friday. I'm such a dork. Why do you guys watch me? Because I'm totally ridiculously dorky. Maybe that's why you guys like me, because you never know what I'm going to do next. So yeah, this weekend, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on this weekend. I'm going to a baby shower. Yay! And it's not for my family. It's for my husband's family. It's my husband's cousin. That's weird to say. It's kind of awkward. Anyway, his cousin is having a baby. She's due like in February, but they decided to do her shower kind of early so that we can get it out of the way before all the holidays and all that, which is fine, which is good. I think that's good. So, yeah, I have to talk about this because this is one of those areas that I notice a huge change in myself. I have been very disconnected from Jared's side of the family. We kind of had a rough wedding planning experience, and I have not let it go, and I need to let it go. It's time to move on. And I can see that now. And I want to just kind of talk briefly about the wedding experience, just because I think it's a background to this topic or whatever. But we got married October 17th of 2009, so we've been married just over a year, as you all know. But we started planning our wedding probably a year and a half before that. Really, probably a year, 9 months to a year was like the real getting into the planning stuff. It's hard to even go into all this, but I wanted my wedding today to be, and I always did, just envision my wedding day being a very small, very intimate affair with mainly just immediate family, not even bringing in extended family for it. Jared was the exact opposite and envisioned the whole family, a big, huge party, you know, lots of drinking, lots of dancing, lots of all of that stuff. So right from day one, we already had a conflict in what we wanted from our wedding day. We talked long time. A lot of hours were spent discussing, okay, well, where's the middle ground on this? I can give up this if you can give up that. You know, it took a lot between just the two of us to reach a point where we felt that we were both giving up enough but keeping enough of what we really desired. Not only that, but the majority of the wedding cost came out of our pocket. So it was always important to me from the very get-go that we didn't go overboard. I didn't want to be going into debt for my wedding, and in fact, I was one of the huge things I wanted was the honeymoon. I wanted to make sure we laid enough aside that we could take a trip somewhere. I didn't care where, just as long as we could get away for a few days, and that would have suited me. But in the end, it didn't happen that way. We got a lot, and I mean a lot, of pressure from our families. My mom knew that I wanted a small wedding, and she was very pushy for us to do that. Jared's parents wanted a ginormous party like he did, and they wanted to be able to invite pretty much anybody they'd ever met their whole life. And the guest list grew and grew and grew and grew, and I was just like, how are we going to feed all these people? What are we going to do? I mean, we can't afford all this. So initially what I wanted to do was I wanted to just make, you know, a very low-key kind of meal with small sandwiches and nothing fancy that we could have done ourselves. His parents really didn't like that idea, and they in fact ended up paying for catering so that we just didn't do that, basically. And, you know, it worked out good for the catering. The food was amazing. The catered food, which is usually not good, was very good. And it was nice of them to pay for it, and I'm still very appreciative of that. But the fact remains, they kind of held that over us, that, well, they're paying for the food, so they want to be able to invite whoever they want to be able to invite. And I still wanted to not have a big wedding. I didn't want to have 200 people at my wedding. And the list just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we had lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of phone arguments, phone fights with them. And mainly they were done by my husband, who just was getting run over by them wanting what they wanted and telling them, well, we're paying for it, so blah, blah, blah. But in reality is like everything else related to the wedding, we paid for it. We had to pay for the venues. We had to pay for the florist. So every additional person we added was more cost to us because it was adding more flowers, more tables, we needed a bigger space. You know, it goes on and on and on. More invitations, more programs, more. I mean, the whole thing just gets blown up. And people don't realize, like, you know, how much extra it costs per person for a wedding. It's a lot per person. So I kept fighting and fighting, and finally we had just the culmination point where it blew up, and I just got on the phone with them and I said, look, I'm done. I'm done with the argument. We're done. We're not gonna. This is the maximum amount of people we're having, and you can either take it or leave it. Ultimately, we are the ones sending out the invitation. So if you guys don't decide to agree and cut the list down to this many people that we're allowing you, which was quite a few more. We actually, that his side of the family got to invite a lot more people than I did. And I said, you know, if you can't get with that, then we'll just cut the list ourselves, and we'll send out invitations to who we feel like should be at our wedding, because we're ultimately the ones in charge of it. And if that means you guys don't want to pay for the food, then don't pay for the food. And it just got to this huge blowout, and things have not been comfortable in between us ever since. They just haven't been. I think I've held on to that, and they've held on to that, and we all said we wouldn't, but you know, it's hard not to. Nobody got what they really wanted. And, you know, I think that's life. You have to it's a give and take. And unfortunately, I just feel like I gave and gave and gave. And, you know, I had a gorgeous wedding. I mean, I really, really did. And it was a lot of work on my part to get it to that point. I made all the invitations by hand. I made all of the programs by hand. It was a lot of money put into it, a lot of energy put into it. But was it what I ultimately dreamed of having my wedding day be? No, not at all. Was it what Jared dreamed of his wedding day being? No, not at all. But we survived, and we're married just the same. But that brings me to the point. I have held on to this frustration, anger for over a year now. Probably closer to 2 years now, if we want to get really honest about it. And it's time to let it go. And this whole baby shower coming up, when Jared's mom called and said, hey, we're having a baby shower and you need to clear the day or whatever. And my initial gut feeling was like, oh, God. And then I'm like, you know what? No, I want to go to this. This is important that I start to participate in this family. I have a freedom about me now, and that's the big thing that I wanted to talk about. Do any of you other post-op people have a new-found freedom in your life? I have a freedom that I feel like I don't have to make excuses. I don't have to be anything other than who I am. You can not like it and move on, and you don't have to be in part of my life. Or you can accept that I am who I am, and we can get along just fine. So, you know, I feel like a lot of the time with his family I've been very unaccepted, partly because of my size, but partly because of who I am inside. Because I am not that average girl. I like tattoos. I like body piercings. I have them. I flaunt them. I don't care what you think about them. And I think that They haven't respected that's just, excuse me, a part of who I am, and part of what I like. And I don't ask anybody else to change who they are for anything. You are who you are. I may not like all the traits that you have, but I can respect the fact that that's what makes you you, so this new freedom I found really makes me feel like I can participate in his family's life, and I can become a part of the family, and I don't have to make excuses for anything. If somebody asks me a question about why do you have your tongue pierced, or why do you do this or do that, I can just say, because it's me. Because I like it and I want it, and that's me. I don't have to like hide behind this shell that I felt like I had to put up a wall that says, oh, I'm, whatever they wanted me to be is what I'm going to be in this moment. I can just be me, and they can just love me for me, and we can move on with our life. And this new freedom is it's just such a remarkable feeling, because I can actually now, I feel like I can do anything. And I felt like I couldn't do anything before. I would find a reason why I couldn't participate in so many different things. And it's such a good feeling. And it's so nice that I can sit here and tell you guys how excited I am to go to the shower, when I know 5 months ago I would have been like, oh, I really don't want to go. What kind of excuse can I come up with why I can't make it? Different life, you guys. It's totally different post-op. It's just really, really different. But I think, it's teaching me a lot about the person I used to be, and the person I was, and the person I didn't like. I didn't like being that person that never wanted to go and participate in life or family. I didn't like that. I didn't like feeling like I had to hide behind some shell, and I couldn't just let my inside show and shine. Just because I'm different, I have reasons for being different. I have not lived a normal life. I have had a different kind of life. I've had different experiences that a lot of people have to go through, and it all molds you into the person you are. So why fight it? I'm not going to fight it anymore. I'm just going to be me. There's no reason not to be, There's really not. So I wanted to make this video because I wanted to know. Are there other post-op people out there who are going through the same thing I am in this moment? I am finding a new inner strength and inner peace that I never knew could exist. It's gonna make me cry. That inner peace, like that part of me on the inside that just can now sit and go, I'm whole. I'm okay. It's so different. It's so amazing to have that. I've never had that. I've never been able to just like breathe and know that at the end of the day, I'm okay. I'm good. And I've never had like this overwhelming feeling of being proud. I've never felt proud. And I feel proud. Nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can take away the fact that I have converted my life from pain and suffering to joy. I mean, I feel joy, and that makes me proud, because that's not something that just happened. I didn't go under anesthesia and have surgery and come out in this different person. I have worked at this. I have worked to let go of a lot of stuff, and with each pound that comes off, it gets easier and easier to just to say, don't need to hold on to that crap anymore. And that's the same way it is with this whole family deal. I just don't need to hold on to that crap anymore. And I'm not going to hold on to that crap anymore. So I better stop. I'm rambling enough. But anybody else, I got to know, do some of you other post-oppers, do you have an inner peace and an inner strength and an inner freedom that you didn't have pre-op? And I want to know, what has it done to change you? Please leave me a video response or a comment or whatever, because I really want to know if I'm alone, if I'm the only one feeling like this. All right. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I love you all dearly. Mwah. Bye-bye.